Alright guys, believe it or not, I have another 2012 Ford Fusion that has a P0442. This came in about 2-3 days after my other video came out, which is quick tips number 4, and that one basically explained why that P0442 is happening and what to do to try to clear it and seal it back up in the filler neck, and what to do to prevent it also. Alright, so this one, just like the other one, the door is broken up here, so it ain't doing anything to seal and put that pressure against the housing seal and actually seal it up. So I'm changing the neck and the housing that actually contains the return spring for this door. This door actually pops off that housing, so you don't have to get a new one or get it painted, nothing like that. So I'm going to show you how to change this housing out, and of course the filler pipe, because once they get so bad like this, from people letting the doors go like this and all this debris getting kicked up, especially with a rainy season or snowy season where it's all like grit and everything, like garbage on the roads, it's really getting kicked up. That seal just has had too much in there, and it will not seal anymore on the actual filler neck. So the first thing we're going to do is pull the wheel off. Just pull your lug nuts off, they're 19mm. And then we need to get all of these little push retainers out of here. There's one here, 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 and then they go all the way up and around inside of here also. And we'll get this like fender skirt out of here, because this is going to be our way of pulling this filler neck out. And we also need to be able to get to the retainers in the back side of the housing up here for the filler door, and this thing out of the way makes it 10 times easier. It only takes a few minutes. Shoot your cat claw and pull up the retainer rivet. And they slide right out. And after that we can just start popping it out of there. It should come out very easy. Very dirty, so watch out for all the debris. Something like that where it falls right out almost. Okay, now we got access to this bolt right here that actually supports the neck. We're going to take that out to 10mm, and then I'll be able to move it around a little bit. And then the inside here where it's all dirty and stuff, up here you can see these little clips that they clip in the back side of the actual body here. We're going to push those in, and then we're going to push the housing out. And we're going to get rid of that housing up and out of the way. Now once all 3 of the retainers are released, there's one here, and one here on the back side of course, we should be able to grab this and pull it out without even putting any kind of prying tool in here. It should come right out, so we don't mess the paint up. And then you just need to maneuver it out for the door mechanism. At this point, let's clean around here so that it'll sit nice and flush on here when we put the new one back in. And here's the new one, and you can see the clips all the way around. It's a nice new one, so it's easier to see. And you can see how they're just push tangs. So when it goes back in, it just pops in. No screws required. Okay, then under the car we have a little heat shield right here. There's 3 nuts on it, and they're 10mm. Take those out. Alright, now the shield's out of the way, we can see that right here there's a quick connect fitting, kind of like a fuel line, but it's for vapor. And we're going to clean it out with compressed air. And then I like to put a little bit of light oil in there. WD-40, whatever you got. And I think that's a 5/16. You're going to need a 5/16 quick release tool for fuel lines. Put it all in there. And we'll get that off of there right now before we loosen up the pipe anymore. clean it up a little bit. Make sure there's no rock debris in there. And then this flexible line right here we just took off actually attaches, pushes that little push pin into the filler pipe here, but it's over here. You'll see it, just follow it along. And pull that out. And then get it off to the side so we're not fighting it. After that push retainer's out of the way for that line, right here is another 10 millimeter support nut, and then just follow your filler pipe back to where it meets up with the hose on the actual tank here, and then we pull this 7 millimeter clamp off of here, and then we'll be able to separate it from there and then pull the whole pipe out. Once the clamp is off, just use a flat blade screwdriver and be careful of the rubber, and just kind of go around it from the inside here and try to separate the metal pipe from the rubber. It'll be stuck on there. And after that, we can start wiggling it off of there and separating it. Now the way this pipe comes out is it actually goes up, get it unstuck there, it goes up and out of the hole there, and then once you get it up and out of the hole in the filler door, you should be able to pull the pipe up and out of the way of the rear subframe here, and then angle the whole thing down and out. Now reinstalling the pipe, it goes in the same way it came out, and just make sure your filler neck doesn't get a bunch of debris in it when you try to work it up through the opening in the body there. So just make sure it's fully pushed in, something like this. You can see it's starting to get smaller right here. This is the fat part of the pipe, and it'll stop right here. And we'll put this clamp back on. Get this nut tightened up. That's about the right alignment on that one also. Then before going any further, we're going to get this line back on and get it lined up in there first, put it on there straight, and then push it until it clicks. And then here's that retainer I was talking about earlier, and that should line right up with your bracket on there also now. Push that in. We're all done in this area now, so you can put the shield back on and the 3 nuts and then tighten them up and move on. On this old door, if you are replacing the door, there's a little tang right here. You just pry up on it, and we're going to break this one off actually, just because we are changing the door. There we go, we got it broken off now. And then this door simply slides this way from the housing, kind of like this. Of course, this one's pre-loosened, but this is how it comes off. You're going to have to use 2 hands and fight it off of there. Just pull and slide it off. It's going to be on there pretty tight. And then when transferring it to the new door assembly here, it'll go into a groove and it'll sit flush like this. And then you simply just need to pop it over and it will it'll lock into place. And this little tang will go flat. Okay, so make sure your filler neck is still loose. That one bolt that is inside the wheel well right here is not in yet. And then we move it to the side a little bit. Keep the door partially closed so you can grab it like this. And then put the door assembly in there first. And then get it lined up in there so it's straight. And then concentrate on getting your filler neck lined up. And then we can finish putting this in here till it snaps. There's a bottom snap, top, and this one. There we go. And this should just pop up and through here. And that's how this one is. It just kind of floats in there. Let's put our easy capless information thing back on here. A little trim piece. And then you can see this door fits on there nice and tight, so it actually seals and keeps the debris out the best it can without actually locking shut like the new ones do. They have like little magnetic tangs and they actually suck it nice and close to it, but these ones rely on spring pressure. And the last step of the actual filler nozzle is this support bolt right here. Let's tighten it up. And then this whole fender liner goes back in place. Get this side over here in first. And then push it all the way up. And then get one of these. Get one of these push pins in there, and that will support it. And then all you gotta do is align the rest of them up. They're all over the place. And then, of course, put your wheel back on and tighten your lug nuts down to 100 foot-pounds. And then make sure you clear your check engine light. Either you can take it to AutoZone, or you can do it yourself. I have a whole video on that. There's a procedure to do it properly down in the description. So you can clear your codes, and then just drive it a couple of days, and you'll be able to tell if the it's still seeing a leak or not without actually having a scan tool to run the test. Now in our Ford scan tool, we can actually do the test on demand right now and test it out, but for the owner, what you can do is just drive for a couple of days and give the time for the evap monitor to run, because it does take a while, and make sure you do some good trips in there, and you'll be able to tell if it comes back on or not. Now, unfortunately, even though it is a emissions type thing, Ford is not covering it. I don't think even under powertrain, the 60,000 miles on these, and it's definitely not covered under emissions. So unless you're under base, bumper to bumper, either you're going to have to try my cleaning video, or you're going to have to change out this filler pipe if it's just gone too far. Now this video only applies to leaks, P0457, P0442, stuff like that, not circuit codes for the actual vent solenoid in the back and stuff like that. I've seen those also, and that's the actual solenoid. These ones that this filler pipe fix is strictly for actual leaks where it cannot suck the system down and or hold a vacuum. So it's a simple procedure, but it's nice to see it to make sure you know what you're getting into. And I hope this has helped, because this is affecting a lot of Fusion owners.